All right, welcome to the Haters Ball. It's your boy Dumb It Down. I'm here with my older brother, the Old Baldy, and my
Yeah.
younger brother, B Dog. And
You're
we back. Man, there's actual, a good music drop this week. So we're excited to talk about it, man. And we also have a lot of more good music coming up in the past couple of next few weeks. That everybody's talking about, this Clipse album, Lil Wayne dropping this week. So it's finally, 2025, it looks like it's finally going to start dropping some music. It's been a really slow year, super slow year, and the year's still, open for anybody to take. So we're excited to talk about that this today. But first, man, we wanted to, catch up. What's going on, man? How y'all feeling? How y'all doing? What's going on? Y'all watch? Y'all excited about the finals? Whoa, y'all got finals predictions?
not at all. I would love to see Pacers win it, but I really don't give a fuck about either of these teams, honestly.
Dang. All right.
Yeah, this shit is a letdown, man. I was looking forward to it. The playoffs are so good to end on these two teams. I'm like, I'm good. I don't think I'm gonna watch any of these games unless I get an alert in the fourth quarter's close or something.
Okay, so why do you feel like that?
Exactly.
Because you're not the only ones. Why do you feel like that? The playoffs have been good, like you said. Why are you disappointed that the Pacers? I like the Pacers. I mean, I think that
A lot of
these playoffs
people,
could be fun too. The finals could be fun
a
too.
lot of people say it's small market, but I don't think it's that. Is the stars that are in it are not established enough? One, so they don't really have. It's not a big thing on their legacy whether they lose or win. People are happy that they just made it anyway. One, two. I don't think Halliburton, nobody's gonna say he's a top 10 player, so he doesn't have that draw. And Shea's MVP, and they expect him to win. It's expected to be a blowout. I think they're 300 favored, minus 300, maybe more. Like it's not close.
Yeah, I mean, everyone's expecting the Thunder but listen, I don't think no one expected the Pacers to get what they at now. So I mean, they could surprise you. They could win. They could win a couple of games. They could make it. They could make it exciting. I just think
My biggest issue is these teams is corny. I don't like these
Oh.
dudes. I don't like none of these dudes on these teams. Who we got on these teams? We got the stars is Halliburton. I'm not a big fan. A good player, but not a guy I'm like rooting for like that.
I'm a fan. I'm a fan. After the last series,
I like
especially after
Siakam.
the game one, I'm a fan. So
It's cool, but I'm good on the Pacers, man. And then the Thunder is even worse, man. We got like Abraham Lincoln, Shea, like he's cool, I guess.
I hate that.
Yeah, like I'm not a fan. Like, am I
don't
a fan?
like
I can't root for them like that.
yeah.
Who they got on their team? That's somebody that
Yeah.
that I'm rooting for. Like I can't think of not one person.
So you saying? So do you think the ratings are going to be bad? That's what people are saying. The ratings are going to be terrible because there's not big stars.
No, they'll be
I
terrible.
mean, I don't see how they're
They'll
not.
be terrible.
They definitely would have been higher if the Knicks were in it or the Timberwolves. Either one of them. I feel like the Timberwolves had way more like stars that was interesting to me.
Yeah, but Anthony Edwards sucked in the last series. I mean, look, he sold
did.
out. What can you say?
But like I said, I don't know why. I don't like these teams. I don't like them. I'm sure people in Oklahoma City are mad. They're like, wow, our team's great, man. I mean, hey, cool, Doug. I'm glad they got a good team. They had good teams in the past, and I liked them then. I was a big Westbrook fan.
Yeah.
Kevin Durant, I'm still kind of a Kevin Durant fan. But
this
team ain't it, man. Like I just who you like on the team? Like who you rooting for on it?
Oh, I don't like the Thunder. I'm rooting against them. I'm rooting for the Pacers. I'm a fan of the Pacers, though. I
guess if I had to pick one of them, I'm gonna root for the Pacers. And then
I don't think they have much of a shot, but I like rooting for the underdog anyway. And so
yeah, that's my bad. They're minus 790 on a series, so $800 to win $100. Like huge favorites.
I would root for them if I thought they were cool. Like I just don't. There's nobody on there I want to root for. I don't know what it is. I don't know how that happens. Like certain people, I feel like I just almost like connect with when you watch the games, and I don't see nobody like that on either one of them teams.
So y'all don't think SGA wins this after the MVP, after this huge season, after this run that he's on, he doesn't become in the running for new face of the league. Everybody's looking for a new face of the league.
People gonna say that. People gonna say that,
like,
but he's not.
LeBron is about to be out of here. Curry's on his way out.
He's not that dude, though.
Is he that guy to you, man? Do you want to watch him? Does anybody I know want to root for him? I mean, probably people in Canada, you know what I mean? But who else?
I don't. I don't like the way he plays. I don't like. He just foul baiting. Like I hate
his game.
Style of play. I hate his game.
It's not even just his game, man. He just don't. No, I mean, what I see of his personality is not
okay.
Like something I'm like inspired to root for. I just don't. I think he be hitting shots. I don't really hate his game. He's not exactly the same as like Harden was when he was getting all them fouls.
No,
he does some of that, but it's different
too. I hate Harden too, but it's different. How they both were baiting for fouls, but they do it in different ways. SGA runs to the rim and no one touches him, and he just flops. He does flop. He does flop. But I mean,
I don't know. He's not the worst flopper I've ever seen. And we've seen people get carried to championships by the refs, and people still like them. People love D Wade. That dude got carried to a chip by the refs.
Okay.
So I mean,
okay, that's fair. That's
fair.
Never
say that.
He lived on the line in that finals. He lived on the line in that finals.
We not.
That's
yeah,
but it was actually getting touched. It wasn't that he was just flopping. People touched him.
I haven't watched. That was a long time ago. But I remember that just being like they were blowing the whistle for everything.
They were.
Nah,
and the man was standing around like, wait, what? He was going to the line over and over.
My thing is, I don't know how good Shea is when that team. Take Shea off the team. I think that team is still a playoff team in the West. Like they're that good. They're that deep. So
you saying they're just really talented? Yeah, they're super talented, which is why no one thinks it's gonna be close. But I don't think you take Shea off. I don't know. You take Shea off. They don't beat the Nuggets. They don't beat the Like
I'm not saying they win those series. I don't know if they win those series, but I still think they're a really good team without Shea. Is my point. So I don't know how great Shea is. That's my thing. And that's why the finals don't hit the same to me, because right now nobody has him on a legend trajectory. Nobody's like, oh, this guy's the next guy and this and that. I was watching sports shows today.
They was talking about like this would be like a top 6-7 guard season ever if they win a chip. So I'm like, dang, like it would be top 5, but Jordan got 4 of them. So it would, but it was like
nobody was saying that during the time. No, that's my thing.
Well, that's the contingent on him winning the shit. That's the contingent on him winning the shit.
Yeah, but they won a ton of games in the regular season. Yeah. He won the MVP. Yeah. If they go win the chip and he win the MVP, you're talking about a great season from a guard. Like I don't know how else you.
For sure. For
sure. So that's what they say. That's what they say.
I just don't think he deserves it, though. That's all.
I personally don't think he's that great. I think it's easy to play on a good team.
I don't agree with that. I just think I don't like his style of play. To
me, it's like Tatum. It's like Tatum. Tatum won the chip last year. I think he's just kind of corny. I'm just not a fan.
Yeah, he's cool, but I don't think he's great. Like
he's a good player.
I don't think.
But I'm not going to sit up here.
Who need the new stars then? Y'all have a star that you would pick as the face of the league?
I mean, I like Luka, but he ain't that new now. I think he's like 8 years in the league. So, but the young dudes, it's hard. I mean, I don't even know a playoff moment from Shea this year. Like, what moment was like, oh shit, Shea going crazy at the end of the fourth quarter to take over the game? Like, I don't think that happened. I'm pretty sure it was comfortably.
He put up numbers doing all the numbers every game.
The thing is, the crazy moment is him at the line. That's the issue. The crazy moment, his big moment, his highlights are all him shooting free throws. That's the issue. That's the problem.
Man, he putting up big numbers, man. I watched a couple games. The dude was shooting lights out.
Big numbers on the line. Stop him.
He be hitting tough 2-point fadeaways and stuff. He hits shots. He does stuff.
He hits shots. Yes, but like I said, I've not been amazed by him yet. I
Nah,
would
man.
love. I want to
I
hear
think
the
because he
amazing.
make it look kind of easy, man. I think you might be, crapping on him in that regard.
Well,
I just don't think the dude is, with the star players, my favorite players, I like them. I like their personality too, like Magic, Kobe, Shaq. Like these players, like are great. That's part of the reason why I connected with them. So I wanted to see them win. I don't necessarily care about these players. Maybe I'll grow to, but that adds that extra layer that makes me want to tune into people that's not my team. I don't really have that with none of these players. I had something like Brunson to me, for the Knicks is like, hey, this basically a try hard dude that people count out that
I like
is a
Brunson.
great player in the clutch. So I got
Yeah.
so I respect him, want to see him win. Even though I don't like Cat and other Knicks players.
I know Brunson been doing a little bit too much foul baiting too for me sometimes. That should be
No, he
pissing
does
me
too.
off.
Yeah, he does.
Hey,
Too.
you
He's a
got
good
to do it
dude.
sometimes, especially the smaller players.
Yeah.
Nah.
When you 5'5", I get it, but still, that should be pissing me off. I do like Brunson though. I like killers. I like the nigga that's going. All right,
Yes.
we know all eyes are on me. I know I'm about to get triple team. I'm still about to dry this ball and get a good shot. That's what I like, and I feel like not Shea don't do that, but he also don't have to do that because my team is so good around me. It doesn't have to be that.
Yeah, all right. We're gonna see what they do, man. But I'm not looking forward to it, man.
Yeah, these niggas might win at 4. I would love to see Hallie do something crazy though.
I would love it. I would love it. It would be awesome. So
see, I do feel like Hallie gets a short end of the stick because he's a traditional point guard who's not worried about scoring all the time. He want to get 10 assists a game. He wants to pass the ball. So it's going to be hard for him to get that I'm that guy when you don't score that much.
Yeah, I have a hard time having love for the Pacers, man. I never liked them. I ain't like them when they had Rick Smith and them other dudes. I don't like them now.
All right. Well, we'll see. We'll see. All right, man. That's enough sports talk. Get into the hip hop, man. Hopefully we get some more people joining in, man, and we just jump into this Pusha T interview. It's a Clipse interview. I'm sorry, but the quotes that people have been talking about, a lot of them from Push. So let's talk about it, man. The Clipse dropping an album soon, right? Reunion album.
July 11th.
July 11th, yes. Okay, so they're on their promo run, starting now. And they dropped their first single, and they, did an interview with GQ that dropped, and we're gonna talk about this interview, man. They say a lot in it. They talk about Kanye, they talk about and they talk about Def Jam delaying their album that was supposed to come out last year. So let's look at some of the things. Say where y'all want to start with. Let's just start with the Drake stuff, or y'all want to start with the Kanye stuff, or what? I guess we'll just start with the Drake stuff. It comes earlier. So, yeah. So, all right, let's jump into it. So, first off, they talk about right here. So if you expected an album last summer, the brothers sympathized. So did they. Pusha says they felt confident, proud, and assured of themselves when they presented the music to Def Jam. The label loved what they heard, except for Kendrick Lamar's guest verse on the thunderous Chains and Whips, the final version of the song that Pharrell teased at his first LV runway show, and the song Push says was the first to come out of their sessions. Don't be fooled by Pusha's interviews appealing to for one last guest verse and Twitter jokes that he went to a GNX tour date to physically walk Kendrick into a nearest studio. K-Dot's verse homework has been turned in for a while. But after the summer of beef between the two biggest artists that resulted in still ongoing lawsuit from Drake, Def Jam's parent company, UMG, blanched at the antagonistic optics of two of Drake's biggest enemies linking on wax. Push calls their apprehension stupid, primarily because none of the bars in Kendrick's otherwise excellent verse could have really received as a shot or even subliminal. It does, however, contain the stellar line, therapy taught us how to open up. It also showed me I don't give a F. Push can barely contain.
All right, you ain't got to read the whole article, Doug.
All right, well, I just want to say. So I want to read this last quote from him right here.
All right.
So they wanted me to ask Kendrick to censor his verse, which of course I was never doing. He explains, and then They wanted me to take the record off. So after a month of not doing it, Steve Garley, the lawyer over there, was like, we'll just drop the clips. So, yeah. So, I mean, that's
pathetic.
What's your thoughts on this, Baldy? Go
This
ahead.
one of the worst things I've ever seen. It's a sad day for hip hop. I guess that was a year ago. And we knew this was already the case, but Def Jam, a legendary hip hop label, is just a shell of itself. It's a pathetic imitation. It's just a name. It's not a real. That's not Def Jam at all. And we, like I said, this ain't really news, but to see them do this is, very disappointing. For people that give that title and that name some reverence. It's Def Jam. But that's what we at.
No, I agree. I mean, this is stupid. This is really stupid. And I don't know, I'm not, we're not a, industry insider, so I don't know how much say, like Def Jam has over like UMG, the parent company.
They don't have no say.
We don't know where. Right. So I don't know exactly who made the call. Who's making the call to say no, we're not doing this. Or censor the verse, but it is trash. It's trash, especially like when this is weird. So yeah, shout out to the people in the chat, man. Someone said Def Jam died when they stopped releasing the games. I guess he means Def Jam.
Probably before that, but yeah. Those games are great.
And shout out to 504 Boy, man. Yeah. So, why do y'all think this happened? Because to me, here's the thing. People are blaming this on the Drake lawsuit. Even in this article, he says, that it's after the summer of beef between the two biggest artists resulted in a still ongoing lawsuit. He says that. But the thing is, everyone's talking about this. This is the consequences of Drake's lawsuit. But this happened before the lawsuit. It's got to be like just the timeline don't make sense to me. Because
that's what I was thinking too.
Yeah. So they wanted to do this last summer. The beef happened last summer, right? But Drake didn't do the defamation suit till a little bit later, like at the end of the beef, And in the meantime, Kendrick been playing shows. He did the Super Bowl doing that like us. The Grammys, high-fiving
this shit every day. Still,
yeah.
I think y'all kind of underestimating the timeline on lawsuits. I think they probably did know before it actually came out. The way it works, at least in look, I'm not an expert, man. I'm not a legal expert, but the way this works is, they would have presented it and said, look, hey, we got this issue. We could potentially file a lawsuit, and the lawyers come at them and they say, oh, well, we could settle it this way, or we could go to court. And they might be like, nah, well, we'll see you in court then. Like, okay, then we'll see you in court. And that's when it's announced, that's when it's public at that point. But there's probably some conversations that happened before that, especially considering Drake and his status, at the record label. I'm sure he got some top lawyers that, when they go to talk to the label, they probably listen. It's not like just some nobody lawyers. So that's what I do think that's part of it.
Okay, but even in that timeline, like Kendrick, okay, so they said they want to release the album last summer. So Kendrick recorded his verse before that. Like, you know what I mean? Like, so to me, that timeline still don't make sense because the verse is already done. He said this was one of the first songs they did. That Louis Vuitton runway show was from years ago. I don't know exactly when it was, but I remember that was just old. That's not new. Okay, and so it just doesn't make sense. Like Kendrick dropped, the Like That song, all these other collaborations, and there was no issue. So it just doesn't make sense why this one was stopped, even when he said there's no diss records or there's no diss.
Well,
so
and then we saw that before, right? I mean, that's what they did with Push, and that's what. So Stephen Victor came out and talked about that in the other interview, where he said they had Push was off that Pop Smoke album because of the same thing. They thought he was dissing Drake. So
yeah,
clearly, we know that they. It's very. I love to see that this stuff come to light. because it shows you a lot that these people don't. I think a lot of people don't really understand. This all this stuff goes on in the background to get the music actually out. So artists already recording stuff. It's already made. And these record labels will come to them and tell them stuff about what they saying and what they doing, depending on who they are and what they look is. If you're not the top cash cow, dude, you gotta move stuff around. You gotta do stuff the right way and say stuff the right way. Even when you're a big time artist like that's got a lot of success already, like a Push.
So you brought up the Steven Victor interview, so we can pull that up. Steven Victor did an interview with Billboard, and so some people in the chat already
Push's
said so,
manager.
Yeah. So let's. So UMG didn't want to dilute Kendrick's brand. That's they didn't want competition with Not Like Us.
Could be.
That could be it.
This is funny. But we know he hiding in Bali. Okay.
Right. Yeah.
Real fan right here. Real fan right here who knows where we supposed to be at.
Yeah, we got to order today.
They won't let us move it. Yeah.
Yeah, the stream. Yeah, the app is not working with us today. So, So if we look at this, the Billboard interview with Steven Victor, they talked about this as well. You're right. He says
that's tiny.
Okay. All right. So right here, he says when you started to hear objections to the Kendrick Lamar verse on the Clipse album, where were they coming from? And it says UMG had this department where they review lyrics. So it was that department. The real reason that department is there is to protect the artist and the label from lawsuits for copyright infringement. They do it for all the labels. Some labels adhere to it closer than others. Let's say you interpolate someone's song. That department is there to make sure that the song is properly cleared. It's not meant to be like, oh, you said XYZ about XYZ artist, so we're not going to release the music. Have you ever had challenges with this department before? He said in the beginning, no, but starting in 2018, yeah. So that's since the story of AOTY. And he said, and you put that on SoundCloud. It's never officially been released on streaming services. Was that a way of getting around internal objections? He said part of the reason, to avoid that, we never actually properly cleared it. So more, about properly clearing. So, and then this is where he talks about again the Rick Ross song and the Pop Smoke song. Steven Victor said, it happened with Pop Smoke song. Is that UMG thought he was dissing Drake on that song? He wasn't, but they thought he was. Pop Smoke was released on my label. And obviously, I managed Push, so they came to me and said, we're not going to put this out now unless you get Push to change these lyrics. Even though it has nothing to do with Pop Smoke, they're like, either change these lyrics or we're not putting the album out. So here we go. This is not something they did once. They've been doing this, right? So I don't really see why, especially after we know what happened. They let Kendrick do all the disses. Why have they been blocking multiple of Push's songs for this? It seems like almost like I would.
Why?
Go ahead. Why?
Because Push don't bring in the money like that, and so they're gonna put up. But they knew Kendrick could. They knew Kendrick would, and so they put Kendrick up and let Drake fall down. So because but they have calculations and all this stuff that they're doing. I mean, they got people that's constantly doing this type of analysis.
Yeah. So this is confusing. I think, all right. So, because on one hand, it's easy I could think, if I'm conspiracy minded, I could say, oh, Drake is putting in a call and saying,
probably,
hey, I don't want, I heard Pushes on the song with, I don't want that. Don't make that come out. And UMG is acquiescing to Drake and shutting down these songs. Kendrick Lamar says on Euphoria, try to cease and desist on the Like That record. You didn't like that record. So maybe there's some, like truth to that. Like that Drake is putting in calls and saying, I don't like this. I don't want this song to come out. I don't want this song to come out. If that's the case, then that's super lit on Drake. Right?
That could easily be that though. And other artists have done this in the past, man. That's more like a pop music type thing where they'll step on people's shit. They'll take people beats. They'll say, I don't want this song that this person got is hot. I'm going to sing on that song instead. I don't want that person to do, like the top artists could get those type of moves off. So, if he did that, which he could have easily done it. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised at all. Makes sense to me.
And so that makes sense. But then, okay, and then this is the next one. Then why would they allow the Kendrick thing to happen after that? After all of this happened, and that's So Cocker says, would that make Kendrick's tracks a big fu from UMG? Maybe they got fed up with Drake stuff. That's possible.
Remember, they were in a what you call them
negotiation. Yep, for the next contract.
So it's easy for them to say, okay, well, look, we can knock you down a little bit. Show you another. Let this dude get his stuff off. You kind of diminished. Now re-sign with us. Now come talk about contract.
Right. So that could be the case. That could be the case. The other side of it to me is like someone said in the beginning. Cool said, that they just didn't want this to ruin Kendrick's other promotional run. Right.
All of that stuff could be true. It's hard to know which one is the number one reason. Right.
We don't know if we could blame this on Drake. We could blame it on Kendrick or what. But to me, the issue is this is why I hate labels in general.
This is a UMG problem.
Exactly.
This is exactly. This is gonna sound lame, but this is exactly what Drake is in theory suing them for. Is having what's happening. You're pushing certain things while diluting other things. You're just controlling the game. You're doing whatever you want. It's a game to you, basically. And y'all are pushing buttons and making moves happen.
It's also a product of you let these companies get big, right? So UMG, they own a bunch of labels and all this stuff. So that's why you got like Def Jam under them. So it didn't used to be like that, and this is just really a problem in all of corporate America and the country right now is you have all these mergers and acquisitions. And then eventually you only got 3 people that's in the whole business. So since there's only really like 3 or 4 real record labels right now, if you on UMG, half the people as artists is on UMG or these other ones. And if you can't have 2 artists on the same label, if they think it's beef, then they're gonna squash people underneath. They're gonna make sure that, hey, look, y'all gotta chill. These people at the top right now, we're gonna make sure we get our money off of them. We can't let nobody else, stop our money. So it's stupid. It sucks that's how it's set up, but you keep letting these people, merge, and the government's supposed to step in and stop it, but they keep letting them do it. And then you get a company that's like, we own 20 labels and you own 20 labels and we happen to own the labels. So we have control over all of this. We can control it.
Yeah.
I do wonder though, in Daytona with the direct diss to Drake, how did they let that go out? I don't understand why they didn't step in for that. That's what started their beef, and then
that's not what started their beef. They had beef for. Forever,
I know, but that's what kicked off the response from Drake. That's when they stopped subbing each other. I guess I should say.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Well, it was still subs on Infrared. It was still subs. I mean, he never said his name, but it was.
But I thought that was mostly directly at Wayne.
Yeah, I mean, again, that's most of the Pusha T, Drake beef is inherited from the Pusha
Those
T.
Those are their artists, though. So I mean, you're right about that. But you know what? The thing is,
I'm saying that to say is that small thing, or I guess that's bigger than anything that they're saying that Kendrick said on their record. So why would they not stop that, but stop this when Pusha saying there's no diss at all in this record?
That's you can think about it a couple ways. Yeah, they probably said, "Hey, we know beef is going to add something to it. We might want a little bit of that. And we know our popular artists probably gonna come out on top. Like we're not really hurting or worried about that. But it could generate more sales and more hype around what our big artist does next and what Push does, who we don't expect to sell a ton of records.
Yeah. Okay, I see what you're saying. The risk is less, but the reward is higher compared to Kendrick and Drake thing.
Yeah, but I mean, really, to me, this is the main problem. Like Blake said, man, UMG is a gang. I mean, these label executives, they behave like like a gang. I mean, they behave like they doing shady stuff in the background. We can't even. All we can do is speculate as to their reasons. But there's more to this story. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't line up. We can only speculate as to what it is, but we won't have the truth. I do hope, to me, even like this these interviews are speaking to one of the things, to get to the lawsuit. One of the things that Drake was saying is that, like, y'all should be able to stop an artist from putting out these defamatory remarks, and they're proven, like, all this is proven that UMG 100% has the power to stop what comes out or to not push something, and they allowed all that stuff to happen. So to me, this don't hold up well for them in court. Like, this is gonna look bad on them, but also it doesn't make, like, they're just inconsistent, like, with their actions. Like, their actions aren't consistent. And so
it shows you they pick and choose who they winners and losers.
Exactly. They pick and choose the winners and
the
losers.
button is real.
Exactly. And that's the problem, man. Because the Pusha T Drake beef, Pusha T murdered Drake, right? He didn't get nearly the type of push behind it, like, his song never was on streaming or anything like that. He never got any of the type of support for it that Kendrick has gotten.
Well, he said that. He said why he did that, though.
Yeah, well, they didn't clear the song. Yeah, they didn't clear any of the songs. Yeah,
it's not a real song. It's a he kept it more street, which is push angle. So
no, it's cool. I'm just talking about. Yeah, go ahead, Vito.
Does that matter though? Like, if Not Like Us was not cleared, I still think it would be just as popular.
No,
maybe not.
No. You don't understand how many people listen to music only on Spotify or only on, like, there's a huge difference.
The record label
have little kids dancing to the song if it ain't on
and they can't push the button. They won't push the button as hard because they don't make as much money off it if it's somebody else beating stuff. Like, if they had to pay Jay-Z and No ID and a chunk of whatever they got for that song, now you splitting it 8 ways instead of 3 ways, or for however many ways. You know what I mean?
In the beginning of the beef, neither one of them were putting their songs on streaming. All the songs that get added to streaming until at the end.
No, Kendrick was always putting this stuff on.
Not like
Drake
they was dropping them on YouTube. Drake was kind of.
Drake wasn't putting his. He was dropping his on, like, Twitter or whatever, but Kendrick was always putting his on streaming from the jump. Even with this, like I said, well, I think this is a difference in the label, like TDE. And we can talk about this, after the suit, but they, even with the Joey Badass versus Ray Vaughn's tracks were on streaming, like, instantly almost, or, like, just a couple of days later or something like that. Whereas Joey, I think, just put a Crash Dummy on streaming services, weeks later. So, and then the other ones aren't all on streaming services yet. So, I think there's a big difference in that, sort of planned out response. We planned, this song to be a hit, and we're gonna release it as a song versus this is my instant response to you,
right?
Because like, I'm not even thinking about a hit type of.
Dot had strategy in mind. He had the strategy laid out, man. He was like, look, I'm gonna put these songs. This song's gonna help me, and I know I'm gonna finish it this way. And he had much better planning on coming out of that right into a record, a new record and things like that, to keep that hype and momentum building. So yeah, man. I just think I really, so the great thing out of this is that the Clipse got off Def Jam. They got off UMG, right? They signed with Rock Nation.
They had to pay money to get off.
Victor said they had to pay a lot of money. Steven Victor.
7 figures. They said.
Yeah, millions. Which is crazy.
It ain't like it came at no cost.
I mean, and it looked like Jay-Z helped them out. Props to Jay-Z. Giving them an artist-friendly deal. I don't know, if there was an advance involved to help pay for that chunk of money, but yeah, Push owed 3 albums still on his deal, and they had to pay to get off that deal. So so they wound up signing with Rock Nation. That's why it's coming out a year later. But it's crazy because these labels can really make or break an artist's career, and every single Clipse album has had some sort of label drama to it. And that's
they stay with label drama. They overcome it though, unlike other people, man.
But overcome it as to but I think there's levels to overcoming it. Like, I don't think before Push was with Kanye, he was not like a household name. He, for the most part, most of his fame has come from Kanye, I would say, right?
I agree with that.
I mean, I thought the Clipse was already pretty big, man, when they had the drama before? Was that before Till the Casket Dropped, or was it before that? I think so. They were waiting.
They had drama for every one of their albums.
They finally got out of off Jive Records. It's like, they had that drama, that label drama. People was hyped, and waiting for that album. That album was highly anticipated when it came out.
Mm-hmm. So I think all artists should be independent. I mean, like, this is obviously the best way for music to come out for everybody. But yeah, man,
I agree. Let the market decide. But I don't know. I mean, the labels do have some value. I'm not gonna say they're valueless. They can push you for sure. They can help, but they also play a lot of games.
So it's right here. I mean, Stephen Victor talks about it right here in the article too. He says, "What appeals to you about taking the independent route? I still think there's a place for major labels, but if you can get away with being at a place that understands the culture, that you're a lot more, you're in a lot more moves more nimbly, and you can get the same resources that you would from a major. Why would you go to a major, especially the way the deals are structured? You get everything and more from somebody that not only looks like you, but behaves like you and has the same mindset as you. You're not dealing with layers and layers of corporate bureaucracy and nonsense, and all artists are not treated equally in a major record label system." So right there, I mean, I think that, that summarizes it all. Not everybody is treated equally. And the Clipse, I don't think that they fit on like the mainstream major label. Like, I don't think that they're ever going to be a priority there. So I think, running with Jay-Z, giving you an artist-friendly deal, I think that's just a way better deal. I mean, for everybody.
But as you can see from Push, he obviously wanted to be on a major. He's trying to get that Grammy push, this and that. Independent artists.
He was definitely chasing that before.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
He was
independent artists.
It's almost dry. It's almost dry. He was pushing for it. He was heavily pushing for it, and that's I think that is the benefit that the major label gets you. But
yes,
and he was
I went and saw his show. He was talking about like, this the album of the year. Make sure you talk about it or something like that. I was like, dog, just play the next song, man.
Yeah. So what y'all think? So let's talk about the single now, man. Because what y'all thought of the single? Ace Trumpets dropped. What y'all thoughts on this album? Do y'all have high hopes or what? I mean, do y'all feel what?
Hell yeah, I got high hopes. It's the Clipse.
Really? Wow.
They got great albums, man. Are y'all serious? Y'all not Clipse fans?
I haven't listened to a lot of their music. I haven't listened to any of their albums fully through, honestly.
Hold on, let's talk about this comment right here though, real quick, before we get to Jay and Devil of the same face. No.
I agree with that. By the way. Okay. I don't think Jay-Z is in this for the love. Like, if
he's not running the label day to day though, man.
I don't see. I do think,
but Rock Nation is a monolith. That's a big company too. So
yeah,
I don't think.
But have you heard anybody getting jerked over there? Have you heard any? Have you heard any artist that ever said I got robbed by Rock Nation? Rock Nation won't let me on my deal or anything like that. You haven't heard anybody ever say those type of things about?
No, we haven't heard that yet.
Right there. So it's not like with Diddy where everybody that said Diddy robbed, you know what I mean?
Dang.
Or you know what I mean? Like or so many other people. It's not like that. So I think we got to give. Listen, Jay-Z not the greatest. I'm not a Jay-Z stan, but I think we got to give him props where it's due. And they said that they got a friendly deal. I believe that Jay-Z let J. Cole get his masters, right? J. Cole got his masters. Push got his masters. I think he has shown that he is fair, at least, right? He's not going to rip artists off,
I think
I
that's
mean,
well, he might rip artists
rip,
off, but not the ones that
I'm
are
about to say the touring venues are where the ripoff is happening at. The fact that they own all the touring venues and everything is run through them is where the ripoff comes to. It sounds like to me. Like, okay, it's good on the front end, but on the back end, when you do these tours, is probably where it's worse at. It sounds like.
I mean, I can't speak to that. I don't know.
We could go by what they said, man. They said that the deal was better. It's more to me. It's more of a like I said, it's more sad that Def Jam, like the founding label in hip hop, basically, or the first like of its type, focused on hip hop really like that. And then they are the ones who are failing artists in the modern times because they basically been sold a long time ago, and it's just not what Def Jam stands for. Exactly. They should change the name or just eliminate the name.
Well, the name is the name holds the brand power, but like I said, even like Benny wanted to go on Def Jam, for the brand power, but that was lame, and he sucked ever since. Snoop Dogg, trying to run it, it's not been good. It's not good for any. I don't think anybody should go on Def Jam. They've already proven that. It's lame.
Damn, y'all killing this dude in the chat, man. It's some good hate, man. This is quality hate, man. I appreciate y'all haters in the chat. This is great.
Hey, no. This is good hate. But I think you can compare it. Okay, comparing Vic Mensa and Meg is a big star. All right, so number one, Lil Uzi is a big star. Right, like all those people, saying that their careers ended is not true. Those are people. Vic Mensa was never his music sucked, so he was never gonna go nowhere anyway. I don't know.
Damn.
And mostly they do distribution. I don't know how many of them are signed as artists and how many of them are managed. Yeah, right.
Yeah, because I know that like Westside Gun and them are managed. I don't know what the label is. I don't know all that how that all works. I was about to say this B-Dog favorite song right here.
That shit go crazy. I gotta listen to that again. It came out of my rotation.
That song is one of the worst songs I ever heard, man. I can't believe y'all be actually talking about this song is good. Yeah, it's embarrassing.
But listen, hey, we appreciate the hate regardless, but I don't know if all of it's fair. I'm not here to be a Jay-Z defender, but I don't know if all of it's
fair. You got to know a lot about the business to know how much of that is bad, how much of that is good. So I don't know that. I can't speculate. The song, I thought the song was good though, and I was excited about the song. I saw it, I like the song. I wasn't like jumping up and down for it, but I was hype about the Malice verse. I thought the Malice verse was really good. The flows on it are weird. I definitely get it. Like I saw people making jokes about the high starts with this right here. But I thought I did think the song was good, and I thought both verses was good, and I just thought the flows on them are weird. But we're gonna see where it goes.
I like the song, and to me, what I'm most excited about is the beat. The beat I think is dope on that song. That's where it starts. Pharrell making the beats. I thought one of my issues with It's Almost Dry, I did not think all the production was great throughout. I didn't love that album. But now, Pharrell making the whole thing. And then, one of the things they say in this interview as well is that they took a lot of, that while they were working, they were running back, Hell Hath No Fury for inspiration, So to me, that's like, a great sign. You're going back to, what worked. Pharrell going back to what worked, not, not doing anything too weird or whatever. And if I get more of that, I'm gonna be happy. I'll be happy. So, yeah.
I think the song is a 7. If the whole album sounds like this and it's a 7, I'll be happy because we haven't had no music this year. So actually, that would probably. This is gonna come out and be highly rated for me, probably. Actually, higher than a 7 because we haven't had nothing this year. But also, I don't think this song is spectacular. I don't.
Their worst album is a 7, man. Like they got good albums, man. I think this is gonna be a good album. I think this might be a single. It probably sound better in the album sequence. I'm a Clipse fan, so I'm not gonna sit up here and act like I'm not. But we're gonna see as far as how the actual album goes. I'm looking forward to hearing it when it come out in July. That's like a month away. Push had some interesting bars on here for like he's talking about like waiting on Kanye, and then he kind of the I don't know if y'all saw that interview with him. I mean, what he said about Ye in that interview was I thought it was like cold blooded, like harsh and calm at the same time. Like didn't sound harsh, but it was really harsh.
Well, you said, "Well, you're not a man to me," or something like that.
Yeah. Right. So I don't think he's a man.
He a genius. Yeah, he a genius, but he's not a man. So basically,
you're not a man. What's
that
worse,
nigga's
man?
great at one thing, but everything else you don't fuck with.
No, well, he said like I know all your weaknesses and all this other type of stuff. Like it made it sound like the dude is low. Like if you're not a man, like I don't want nobody to ever call me not a man. Like that's that's a harsh diss, and it's also like it's not vulgar the way you said it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I thought that was like ugh.
You not a man is flagrant. I mean, of all disses that we hear diss tracks, I mean, I don't know. Is this more flagrant than like so many other things? I don't.
Damn,
I don't
to say it so calmly, like, oh yeah, he's just. I don't think he's a man. Like, yo, that's harsh, man. To me, that's like if you're a man, that's got to cut from a dude that knows you, like that's your friend.
Yeah.
Or you call him talking about how you miss him and all that type of stuff. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I think Kanye has obviously been off his rocker, and Push held him down for a long time, right? Longer than he really should have, honestly. I mean, like everybody else was out of there.
I don't know if it's longer than he should have. I don't agree with that.
Yeah,
but
I don't agree with that either, man. They to me they should have strapped the dude down and brought him to rehab a long time ago.
Exactly.
And you can't bake rack somebody that's rich, but basically that's what you got to do.
What I'm saying is that
have some goons tie this dude up and say, "Man, come out in 6 months, man. We'll see you in 6 months, man."
I'm saying when Push was still working with Donda, all the other good music people have been gone. That's what I mean. And when Kanye made Push president of good music and all that other stuff,
exactly.
Everybody else was way out the door, right? So that's what I mean. He
was holding Push down too. That's what I'm saying.
And like I said, they should have showed him some kind of. It's probably not legal. He probably just got out right away, but somebody need to put the dude in the rehab right away. He on nitrous and all that type of crazy shit. Who the hell does nitrous? Do you need cans of that? Like, are you walking around with them cans like old people with that nose? Just like funny. Hitting nitrous all day.
Nah, he got the mask. He get the mask. He go to the dentist. He get the mask.
Yeah, he got a can, a big metal can where he hitting
a tank.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I mean. Yeah, that's insane.
Man, come on,
that's insane. You rich,
like you go to your neighborhood drug dealer and just ask him, hey, you got
another tank?
Got another tank? Yeah, come on.
No, that shit don't work like that. I thought one of his friends said exactly how he got hooked on it. It was like dental work. Doctor started giving him nitrous, and then ever since then he was on it.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. You need to go to rehab. We not come on. Yeah. Like this is a different type of drug, man. Like you got to stop.
Hey, Push got Ye last classic album now, so he got to hold down a little bit longer.
That's true.
That is true.
And that's what I'm saying.
I think that's why he stuck around longer than everybody else. He stuck around longer than everybody else because of that. But let's get to, because another part of this interview that's interesting, is he talked about the Jim Jones who was going on, interview run talking about how Push not a top 50 rapper. And I thought this is an interesting conversation because I want to know where y'all rank the Clipse as as all-time hip hop group. This reunion is a big one. If this, whether this album is good or not, where do y'all rank the Clipse as an all-time group? How what is their legacy at this point?
Like this point,
I never. Go
ahead.
I was gonna say I never listened to these niggas, so I don't know. They came out 01, 02. I was 5 years old. I never went back and listened to the Clipse, especially after they said Malice retired or something. I was like, all right, cool. I mean, I don't know. People never kept it.
Well, then you gotta go listen. That's what you need to do this week. Listen to
Definitely.
the Hell Have No Fury and to the Cassie Drops.
And Lord willing.
And Lord willing, yeah, for sure. Like, yeah. So,
Yeah, right, nigga. I'm about to listen to that new Carter 6 all weekend. What you talking about?
okay.
I mean, that's
Or
fair,
we on
but
7?
at some point you need to listen to these clips out.
I don't have much.
6
I
to
have
7.
less hope for the Carter 6 than I have for this.
Oh yeah,
For sure.
yeah.
I don't have much.
Of
I don't have high
course.
hopes for
Yes.
Wayne at all. All right.
Yeah, definitely.
All right, so are the Clipse a top 10 group all time?
Top 10 is I think that's fair. I mean, can we name 10? I mean, Tribe.
Wu-Tang.
Okay, all right.
Tribe.
Okay, for sure. Those two. Little Brother for
Outkast.
me. Outkast, 100%.
Mobb Deep.
Yeah, I think Run DMC got to be in there.
Now you
UGK?
start getting difficult. UGK over the Clipse. UGK probably more legendary, different region.
Definitely,
but the Clipse is its own region, kind of.
That's true.
Like they're not like other people.
Yeah, for sure.
And then they always have phenomenal production. I mean, when you getting Pharrell and them, but I mean UGK too. I would probably say Clipse. I take their catalog.
I agree.
But then if I had to pick,
fair.
like, I probably pick the Riding Dirty over any of their albums. I guess if you have to pick, like, if you see what I'm saying, that's hard.
This is a good one. NWA.
NWA
for
Clipse got a better catalog,
but yes, they got NWA got
but NWA got much bigger impact
and bigger impact. And so that's the thing. We always when we have these conversations, it's always about what criteria we're talking about. To me, discography over everything. That's my opinion.
Okay, if you discography, then
the most music
they're gonna be higher up.
Re-listen to.
They're gonna be higher over a lot of people because, like, I don't think they're over Public Enemy. But but I would say that I would listen to the Clipse albums before I listen to Public Enemy a lot of times.
That's fair.
Part of that is the age and the different vibe, you know.
The style of the style of music is way different. I mean,
Cypress Hill to me should be, up there. De La Soul.
Oh yeah, De La definitely. I think you got to put them under De La for sure.
And then you start getting into more. Then it gets more difficult. Like I said, you guys. So now you're looking at Clipse, Fugees. Clipse got more than Fugees. They more Beastie Boys have more impact, but they over the Beastie Boys.
Okay, all right.
Ghetto Boys. You said Little Brother over Clipse.
Oh yeah, I mean, I'm a y'all know I'm a big fan.
I don't know,
Little Brother.
3-6 Mafia.
Clipse
that's
got
a good
3.
One. They over Clipse.
3-6. They got a lot of albums.
Yeah.
I mean, they got more. Yeah.
Yep. For sure. I mean, and again, it's a lot of it's regional too.
Bone Thugs.
A lot of people would say 8 Ball, and MJG, would be over them. There's a lot of people from a lot of different, areas. Bone Thugs,
Gang Starr, does that count as a group?
I always kind of put the one rapper, one producer in like a different, like kind of
Farside not over Clipse. They ain't got the catalog. But I agree. I mean, that's the type of arguments you making.
Right.
So they're right at the 10 or 9, something like that. Like they over a couple people, but it just depends on your preference. Because it's hard to put them over some of these groups that was legendary when they did stuff like NWA. But NWA to me got one album. And then the second album is good. But overall, I'm listening to the Clipse. Plus, again, it's old. The Locks, same thing. I think the Clipse got a better catalog.
The Locks. I love especially the Styles. I think he got the best music out of the group. But their catalog is not it. Especially if you talk about as a group, just specifically the group albums. Because there's another thing we always do with groups too. If you take, like, say for instance Wu-Tang, and you take all of their individual records too, like then it's not even close. But if you only count the group albums, then the Locks don't have a shot. I think.
What about Run the Jewels?
I love Run the Jewels, but I don't know. It's all, I would. That's a tough one. I love Run the Jewels. So
what about the Roots?
Oh well, okay. The Roots, to me, Roots are number one. No, I mean they behind Outkast and behind Tribe. That's the only people I put the Roots behind. So
okay, so that's what I'm saying. It's not easy. I think it's gonna be preference. Really, it's gonna come down to preference because some people gonna have like Mobb Deep, Clipse,
but definitely over this. Definitely
over
Dipset.
Dipset. Yeah, over Dipset for sure. For sure.
That's the crazy thing about like it was Jim Jones talking about top 50. You know, it's like Jim Jones is trash. You know, so it was. I would if I was the Clipse, I would feel disrespected. If I was Push, I would feel very disrespected with Jim Jones is talking about me like that. You know, so. But yeah.
So we'll see. This album could put them above some of these groups. Like, yes, that is borderline for some of them that we named.
If I had to pick a spot, if I had to pick just personally, I would probably give them number 5. I'd probably say the 5th best group, or maybe 6th. But I would, to me, I only have Outkast, The Roots, Little Brother, Tribe. And then they could be that number 5 spot. To me,
I gotta put Run DMC and Public Enemy above them. I can't put them above those two.
And that's
it just don't even seem right to me. But I am old baldy, so I gotta hold it down for the old people on here. And they're not over Mobb Deep.
Oh yeah. Oh, I definitely got them over Mobb. I know.
This is feel about Mobb Deep.
Yeah, no.
You know how you feel about Mobb Deep. Oh, they're not over big timers. They're not over big timers. They're not over Hot Boys. Come on, man.
The Hot Boys. If you want to say Cash Money as a whole, if you want to say that as the whole group, like Cash Money as a whole, I would say okay, that's a fair comparison. But if you talk about just the big timers or just
definitely over the big
Hot
timers.
Boys.
The Hot Boys is more debatable, but they definitely over the big timers. Okay.
Yeah, for sure.
Big timers got some hits and some songs, some classics.
Yeah,
they definitely got some classics.
Yeah, man. All right, let's move on, man. All right, we done with Push the Clipse. Any other?
Yeah, we're gonna see when the album come out.
All right, y'all already mentioned it, but y'all have high hopes for since we talking about this. Y'all got high hopes for Lil Wayne, man. Y'all think he could bring back some of the magic?
I wouldn't even listen to this album if we didn't do this podcast.
Come on, man. You didn't think his project with Chains was pretty good, or any of the recent stuff he did? Nah.
No, I hate Lil Wayne's voice. I can't stand that shit.
Lil Wayne's voice. His voice has always been what it is.
Yeah, that's not fair, man. You can't.
That's not true.
Voice. I don't like that at all. That's nasty. Nasty
yeah,
word.
It's Carter 3 and on when he started doing all of that whining and singing. I'm good on that. I don't like none of that shit. It all sounds terrible.
You don't like How to Love and
How to Love.
Y'all making jokes. Yeah, those albums are terrible, but I think the Carter 5 had some good songs on it. I mean, he's been rapping. Most importantly, the features he's been doing recently have been him rapping very well. So my hopes are that he brings that energy, just rapping bars. I hope he got good production. I really hope because I saw Manny Fresh did like a remix or something. For the Carter 6. I saw it was posted. I hope he gets.
I ain't like it.
Good production. I know it wasn't good. It wasn't good. I agree.
Oh no, but no! It hurt me, dog. I was like, oh come on, Manny Fresh. We're gonna have Wayne. It's gonna be good. It's gonna be like Carter 1, and it wasn't. I was like, that's not what I wanted to hear, man. I was kind of disappointed by that, but we'll see. Hopefully, it's not gonna. The whole thing will have some good production. It'll be good.
Yeah, that's the hopes. I really do hope. If Friday coming is not good, trust us, we will be on here next Tuesday and trash it. There's one thing we critical of people we don't like. We just as critical of the people we do like. So we're gonna trash it.
Yeah. That's why. What's the name? BSF Blank's still mad at me for hating on that Benny album like a whole 2 years ago or whatever that was.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, Benny need to get off Def Jam too, man. He made a mistake going there too. So
yeah, he need Westside to help him out because he need Westside guidance big time.
Speaking of Griselda, man, we can get into some of the music that dropped this week, man, because I think several great albums, or several good albums, several projects dropped that were good, and we got to talk about it, man. First off, Rome Streets, um, let me pull up the album here, but Rome Streets dropped, man, and he's been on kind of on a run, man. Rome Streets. I don't know how y'all feel about him as a whole, and where y'all got him, in the whole crew. But I pulled up the wrong album right here. Train Spotting with Conductor, man. Conductor produced the whole thing. What y'all think of this album, man?
It sounds good to me. I'm not a big Rome Streets guy. I can't say I know any of his music, honestly. But I know he'd be featured on some stuff, but yeah, I'm not really into this guy. I'm not sure who he is. But it's a good album. Sounds good.
Well, then you should definitely listen to this Kiss the Ring. If you haven't heard him yet, but yeah, he's dope. Baldy, what's your thoughts on it?
Love this album. Love this album. You know what I mean? Conductor, we have a problem. This dude is the best. This one has weird, different sounds. Like I don't feel like it's the same as other Conductor projects. I mean, we got what's the last full album Conductor we got? Was it the Boldy or was there one since then?
Yeah, I feel like
Boldy.
Yeah.
I think it sounds different than that. It don't sound like that.
That we talking about.
Yeah. So I was very happy to hear it. From the beginning, I like almost every song on here. I kept thinking the album was gonna slump at some point. I had this on in my car. I was like, okay, I'll turn it on. I thought it was gonna get whack or something at some point. I was gonna get tired of it. It never happened. I was like, oh, play this again. Play it again. I listened to probably about 5 times since it came out. I just really like this album.
Yeah, I mean, I gotta say, I think this is I disagree with Baldy on that. The production is crazy different in some way. I think for a lot of it is kind of what you expect from Conductor, but if maybe it sounds different for some of you guys, but to me it's what you
maybe it was more Rome because he's flowing all over this. It's just very different. I just thought this was different in some ways that was enough for me to feel like I was refreshed by it. I didn't feel stale or tired of it. And so I was excited. Like I said, as the album kept going, I was like, dang, another one. I was like, oh, I don't know what my favorite song on here. I mean, I guess it might be the one with Method Man.
Yeah, Meth always killing his verses, man. Like it's always my favorite is always the one with Meth, man. It's always the case.
But that one didn't have the best. I didn't love that beat as much as some of the other ones. There's a few on here. Like I said, I really liked. I don't know which one I like the most. I like so many of these. Like basically every song. Runny Nose might be my favorite one.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, so here's the thing. To me, it's really good. It's straight through, easy play to me. But some of the people, saying, to me, it doesn't like some of the beats don't stand out a bunch. The tracks, are like just flow because, like to me, the album is the easy listen straight through, but they kind of flow together in a good way and in a bad way in that it's easy to just listen straight through. But it also feels like, which song was that that beat that I liked, or which one was that, to me, there's not enough features. I really, to me, what makes Kiss the Ring, well, I would say this is my second favorite album from him. I don't think it's as good as Kiss the Ring, because Kiss the Ring had more features, and also I think Conductor had better beats on Kiss the Ring too. So I would say this is a good album. I think it's good. It's definitely in the running for one of the best this year because it's been a very, very slow year. But I would say, I don't know. Those would be my thoughts on it. But I like a lot of. I really like. I think it's Blood in His Boogers. I liked the single. The single grew on me because I didn't like the single's beat at all at first. Right, I really hated the beat on it, but it kind of grew on me.
I love this song. I love this song. It's perfect. It's great. I love that it references the tribe. The Q-tip line. It's all about the bad business practices in the music industry, which we talked a little bit about earlier. And then I saw the video for it. I like the song even more. So yeah, I like I said, I got nothing bad to say about this. I like Rome Streets a lot. I like 10 Toes. I didn't like the Jay Worthy verse on there, but Heartbreaker, Died 1,000 Times, Joe Pesci, Electric Slide. Like I like these songs, man.
Yeah. So, what would you say this is your favorite album so far this year?
Yeah, I think so. At least right now.
You liked it better than the Larry June and Chains?
Yeah, maybe I played that a lot at this point. I think this one's better though. I think this one's better. Rome is rapping well throughout this album. I do like a couple of the beats on there. It's also a different vibe than that Life is Beautiful. You know what I mean? Life is Beautiful is kind of positive, kind of motivating. This is not that. So I think I like this better. Right now, I think this is my favorite album this year.
Okay. All right. Then I want to talk about Rome Streets as a whole, man. Like just as an artist. Because I think he's still a lot of people I don't hear him talked about a lot the same way as some of the other, rappers from this crew as much, even. So where do you think I heard you earlier you said you had a take. You think he's number one in New York?
Third best in New York. Third best in New York. It's Rock Marcy number 1, Ransom number 2, and then Rome.
Okay. See. So you got him over. I mean, you talk about New York City.
I'm talking about New York City.
Okay, all right. So you got him over. I mean, listen, Joey just said he's the ruler. Doing that. Oh, look,
Joey got to
come out with an album, man. He got to come out with an album that's better than this year.
He said it's coming. It's coming.
All right, great.
All right, it's coming. All right.
Let me hear it. Because to me, he don't have an album better than this.
All right.
I think 1999 is better than this. I think that's more of a little bit of a crew album, but I do think 1999 is better than this.
Wait, so you think this is better than Before the Money or
yes, I think it's better than Before the Money.
Okay, see, I gotta disagree with this, and this is one of the things I wanted to address when Joe. I know. Listen, V-Dog already upset. We got
Joey.
One of the things I hate. One of the narratives I hate from this the beef that happened or whatever it is, the fake beef that occurred, the battle. I mean, is what I should say, not beef, but is this narrative that Joey only has one album? People keep talking about, keep repeating this.
No, I don't think it's just one.
Joey got one album, 1999. He's that dude from 1999, or he came out with 1999, and I think that's a completely false narrative. I think Before the Money is an amazing album. I think
Before the Money is great. I like Before the Money a lot. I had not listened to it in a long time. We'll see if it if it holds up the same way if I give it another listen.
I think we gave it another listen. It sounds great still. To me it hasn't.
I think Save Your Time
aged great. I think All American.
No, this one don't have this one has a couple songs on there. That's not.
What song? What are you talking about?
What's Teach Me?
Teach Me. Yeah, that was like his the single song, right? Wasn't that like his
Okay, I remember
his
number
song?
99. Okay, I remember that now.
Teach Me How to Dance, whatever.
No, Teach Me is trash.
But again, that's not even that song that you're talking about. Isn't that like a bonus song?
I gotta do this again, man. I remember a bunch of these songs now that I'm listening to them again. For like clicking them for a second. So yeah, we'll see. But I don't know. I don't think that this right now. I'm loving Train Spotting more. I'll give this a listen if you want to compare it in another episode.
All right. Regardless, my point is for anybody out there who just heard of Joey from 1999 or from whatever. To me, he's got other albums that are good. Before the Money, Summer Nights, All American, all good albums. This narrative
All American is good for sure.
This narrative that he's a one album dude is incorrect. And I think that's all. You want to say that, so
I like All American probably more than Before the Money now.
I think I disagree, but that's cool. I mean, I think that. And then what do you think of Summer Nights? I mean, I know it's like just a small little.
I'm gonna re-listen to his catalog and we can argue about it in the lead up to his next album.
All right.
Especially if I'm gonna get a lot of releases this week.
Well, we know we're getting at least Lil Wayne, so we'll see what else we get. And then let's move on.
JPEG Mafia too this week that I'm not excited for.
No.
Who coming out?
Oh no.
JPEG Mafia.
Oh, new Peggy. Okay, I'm a fan now, so I'm gonna check it out.
All right.
I'll be here to hate on it. Though.
I'll be here to hate on it.
I see Carter 6 on Hip Hop DX. That's all I see.
We'll see.
Yeah.
Let's move on to the next.
Got an album coming out this month. What? All right, I'll check that out. Oh, and Jello album come out at the end of the month. I know you can't wait for that, B-Dub.
Nice word in that corner. Whoa.
All right, man. My favorite project that dropped this week is right here, En Route, Odyssey. Odyssey dropped another EP, man, and to me, this dude is on a run. I like everything that has been dropping so far. I love his last album, To What End, and then the EP dropped last year, and Yet Still, and then this EP, I think, is 4 great songs, and I love that it's more upbeat than what you usually hear from Odyssey. A lot. I love the production on this. I don't know what you thought on the beats on here, Baldy.
I like the beats on it.
Yeah. So, as far as the rapping, it's more. I think he's gotten better as a rapper, honestly. But
yes.
So I think the production is dope. It's usually the production is always dope, but this is a different style of production than I usually hear him on.
Mm-hmm.
More upbeat, more fast paced than what you're probably used to if you listen to Odyssey. And then his rapping is only improved. So I love the run he's on. I think he's just been on a great run so far.
I don't know if I would call it great, but I do think that I think he's consistently been pretty good. I mean, especially in this I don't know what you call this type of rap. I don't really know his. Nobody
regular
dies.
People rap. Regular people rap. Yeah.
Well, what are you trying to say? You trying to say Westside Gunn is not a regular person?
No, not at all. That dude is not a regular person at all. Regular people don't go do.
That's because he's shooting people. This is America.
Regular people don't do that. Regular people don't do that.
In America?
Yeah, no. Regular people don't do that. Even in America.
Okay, I don't know if you've been around Florida much. People shooting guns and stuff out here, man. Yeah, I hear you, but okay. So whatever. I'll call whatever. I don't know what category you want to call it. Yeah, I don't know what category you call it. I don't want to put something negative because it gets negative if you try to call it. It's not backpack.
Nah, it's not
like
even
coffee
that,
shop.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's like coffee shop.
Okay. That's fine. I guess all my rap is a coffee shop.
Positive. It's like positive Negro. I don't know what you call it because it's not really like super positive. It's just not negative either, I guess.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. It's just regular people stuff. It's regular people stuff. It's stuff you can relate to when you go on your date. Just shopping or whatever.
I'm trying to get hyped up when I'm going on my day. You know what I'm saying? I battle ops every day. Every day. I'm not going to it's not calm time. I'm going to work. I gotta get hyped up.
I hear you.
The oppies.
But the people you listen to ain't gonna talk about work. That's what I'm saying. They're not gonna talk about work.
What do you mean? They just have a different type of job. But like I'm that's motivation. You know what I'm saying? I listen to Wrong Streets. Talk about it's trash. I'm like, yeah, it's all trash. You know what I'm saying? I'm ready to do battle. You know what I mean?
I hear you. But
I need that type of motivation.
I like when people talk about stuff I can relate to. You know, when I feel like,
No,
they're
yeah,
going
I mean,
through the
look,
same thing I can do, I go through in my life.
yeah,
You know
and
what I mean?
I don't think that that's. I love that I can play all types, and you know, my phone when I'm driving will play Tribe, then it'll play West Side, then it'll play Ice Cube, then it'll play. You
What
know
you
what I'm
call
saying?
Tribe? You call Tribe coffee shop
Tribe is
rappers?
he's a
Okay,
Odyssey is a child of Tribe.
okay, all right. So
The Tribe
then
embraced
they
it, but that's the thing, they embraced that hey, we on this not that shit. Like I feel
exactly.
like some of these dudes don't do that.
No. I feel like
Yeah.
they all embrace what they
I
are.
don't
They're
know,
not.
man. Sometimes some people try to make it like they're better because they're not like street. I don't really know how to describe it. It's just different. Different people have different ways they approach it. So I don't want to put that all on Odyssey because I don't think he's always doing that. So I'll leave that there. I do want to make sure that I, give this EP appropriate respect. I thought it was good. I could spin it some more and see if it really sticks with me. Where I'm playing it constantly,
All right.
But I think I like the Small Talk the most.
Okay. Yeah. I like Small Talk. I like It's a Rare Thing. I mean, listen, like I said, I like every song, but I think the beat on Small Talk is dope. Like I said, is a beat. So yeah, man. So shout out to Odyssey. And then that's it. I wanted to ask y'all what last thing. I don't know if B-Dog dropped out, but I wanted to
No,
ask y'all
I
what
took him
last
off
thing.
the stage because he turned his camera off or something. I don't know what he's doing.
Oh, okay, all right. I wanted to ask you, what do you think about but going back to obviously we had this whole thing with Kendrick and Drake. We had this whole thing with Joey and everybody. I wanted to ask you, what do you think of labels? Because we see how much labels are involved in this stuff as well now. What do you think of labels instigating more of these rap battles? Do you think it would be good or bad for hip hop now that rap battles have become such a big promotional tool? Do y'all think that's like this is a trend? Was because we already heard. I saw an interview. I think it was the Baby. It was talking about how the label called him or somebody called him, another artist said, do you want to start a fake beef or whatever, for promotion or whatever.
Really?
So, do y'all think that this is something that is going to be a good thing for hip hop or a bad thing when rappers are using these battles as promotional?
Well, they always did that. They've been doing that since 50 at least.
Okay, 50 definitely did it. Yeah, 50 definitely started it with How to Rob and everything. I mean, yeah.
50 was battling dudes for like 8 years straight. Like, I feel like it was like a long time where he just had all these battles that was always going on with somebody. And I guess he never really ended the one with Ja Rule, so I guess you could say for 20 years or something. But yeah, I mean that's always been a promotional tool. It's gonna get hype for your.
But that's one
outlier
with 50. That's like he was, like you said, he was battling everybody. He's really an outlier in that sense.
Yeah, I mean that's more of his personality, but other people have battled and was successful. I mean, it gets hyped to your project. I don't think that's really super new. I think these labels, we just came off what was it, last year? People were saying, oh, hip hop not doing nothing no more on the charts. Oh, it's a bad time for hip hop with the labels because they're not doing nothing big. And then we got a big time battle between top two artists, and then a huge record breaking album and tour out of that. And it's not like Drake stopped doing numbers. I mean, he had an album release that was more R&B ish, still did numbers. Other artists, are doing numbers, but of course Kendrick just did tons of numbers. So the record labels may see that as a benefit, but that's only going to benefit certain people. It ain't going to benefit everybody. The Baby probably shouldn't be having that much beef on wax.
So Yeah. Okay. All right. I hear you.
Man, that
Go
nigga
ahead.
got a lot of hype from real life beef and actually putting his hands on people and stuff like
Right,
that.
right. He don't need to do rap. His rap beef
Yeah.
ain't really
Well, he can
like if
rap.
the
I
label
mean,
called him and told him,
he
yeah,
can rap.
he can too. I think he can too. But if the record label called him and told him, hey, start a rap beef, like that's corny.
Well, I mean, isn't that kind of what I mean? Like, that's what Joey, accuses Top of doing when in the song Crash Dummy or whatever. Says that Top came to him and said, hey, can you put my dude Rayvon on, whatever.
Well,
So
that's a good angle to take, but that don't mean that he really did that. And I would hope that that's not really the case. But I think that rap beef is a great part of our culture. And there's nothing wrong with it. But it can't be overplayed and overused. If you start seeing random dude like this last Joey battle, people kind of was checking out because A, it was going. And B, a lot of these dudes is no-name dudes. And now one dude got his career ruined because I don't want to see Ass Cheek again. He can't even use his regular name. He got to come out with a new name.
yeah, nah,
Yeah,
come
that's
on
a
with
dumbass name in the first place.
But these dudes, wasn't like that before anyway. And yes, Ray Vaughn had skills, and kind of built his profile up. But I listened to his album; it was trash to me. So I don't know if that always benefits you. If you put them eyes on you, you got to have something that go with it. Like I don't think Daylight did nothing for itself. Who else was involved? Reason, I think he did okay for himself, but it's not really it's not a dub for everybody just because you was in a beef.
Yeah. I think that's maybe how, some people, or I mean, again, that's how labels could see it. I mean, in that moment in time, those rappers, all those names, even though you said, oh, yeah, they're not, this didn't do that great or whatever, all those names are names that some of them we didn't even know before the beef. So everybody really, their profile all increased. Everybody became more known and saw more eyes due to that battle. So it, as a promotional tool, it did its job, right? It brought eyes to those people. So
from the label perspective, it's a good idea because they don't care about you, so they're going to use you up and then get rid of you. So who cares if you only get a bump for a short time and then you fall off or you're clowned and you lose and you're done with? They're not gonna feel bad. They're good.
Do you think that happens though? Do you think any rappers have like actually lost their career off of beef? Like, you know what I mean? Like
career, you lose
like
your spot.
Their stake has been diminished. I don't really know if that ever really happened.
Cannabis, for sure.
Cannabis came out with a trash album afterwards. Is it because of LL or is it because his album was trash?
I mean, that's I don't know. That might be part of it.
And another thing is that Cannabis punched way above his weight. He wasn't established.
The hype was off the charts for Cannabis. You just don't remember. You just don't know. The hype was there.
The hype was off the charts. But
Ja Rule got taken down by the feds too. But the Ja Rule
got taken down by the feds. Go ahead, say it again.
Ja Rule was hurt. He was hurt by that battle big time.
Yeah, but I mean, how much was it? Murder Inc. Their whole label got taken down by. Like, I just don't know.
I mean, it's true. At the same time, 50 went and took his whole formula. Man, he had an R&B song with a singer like the next week.
Right. You're right. So, okay, I guess that's a good example of it. That's a good example. Ja Rule.
I just think
some of that is circumstances, surrounding it that like make it give it that optics, give it those optics that I don't think it really would exist without the feds taking it. Meek was huge after jail and everything. Meek was at the top. Meek made his best, his most notable songs after that beef, wasn't it? When did the intro that everybody sings? When did that come out? That came out after
before the beef. No, that's
Meek.
That's how he got put on.
Meek got really.
That is not how he got put
reduced.
on. That was
Meek got really reduced, man.
Hold on, let's
I don't remember the timeline, but I remember Meek definitely took damage from that. He took damage.
Yes, but he's also a lame, and he
Yeah,
take damage every week. He
it's
just
true.
be tweeting out dumb shit on Twitter
Yeah,
constantly.
I never liked Meek. I think he sucks. I hate his
always
style.
hate it.
I agree.
So, I don't know why he was getting gassed, but he did take damage, bro.
That
People
push.
be reciting that is that your girls tour or whatever shit.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah,
your
for
world
sure.
tour.
Is that a world tour? Your
He
girls tour?
got hurt,
Yeah.
man. He might have lost his girl behind that shit too, man. Like he was damaged.
Yeah. He's acting like a lame though. That's his fault. Hate that
Yeah,
nigga.
I mean that's true.
I don't know the whole timeline, so I don't know what. I never was a Meek fan, so I'm really not authority on when did the dreams.
Dreaming
Yeah.
nightmares, man. I'll look
I'm
it
gonna
up
look
for
up some
you.
other disses. Who else got hurt?
That came out in 2012. The beef wasn't at least until 2016, I think. I'm pretty sure it was summer 16.
I'll take your word for it, man. I'll take your word for it. So yeah,
That's
all
the
right,
song
that's
that
fine.
really blew Meek, though. That's what I'm
Yeah,
saying. That when
you're
that
right.
song came out, that's when he got on everybody's radar. And they play
Okay,
that shit. That's a legendary song. I don't like it, but every
when they play
woman
it,
I
everybody
know,
knows all the words, and I'd be looking around
everybody
like, why does
knows.
everybody know this song? I feel left
Yeah.
out when that song come on. I don't know none of the words. I be feeling so left. I never had a rap song that played like that, and I'm like
Dog. That shit is
left
an
out.
anthem.
Oh yeah, there's a couple other ones. There's other ones. Ice Cube killed NWA. He killed them boys.
No, but Drake. Okay, no. But Drake had his huge career after that. Like,
Yeah, but what about them other dudes?
okay,
And then KRS-One killed the MC
okay,
Shan.
that's no. You're right. That one is true. That one is 100% true. That one 100%.
Who else? That might be the main ones though that like really took damage.
Okay, so Meek Mill, who's a trash rapper, he never should have been as big as he ever was. You got Ja Rule, who's another trash rapper, whose label got taken down by the feds. And you got
didn't T.I. have beef with Lil Flip?
Well, Lil Flip
another
died,
trash rapper. But like T.I. and Luda had beef, and nobody was hurt by that.
True,
but that's
no.
what I'm saying.
But I mean, see, that's what. So I think you're right. When it's equal, it's not really like your career is not like over or nothing.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
So my point is when it's stuff like like when we
how
talking
can
about
your career be over though? I don't get that. Like
nigga
not gonna stop making us music,
hurt.
But it does hurt. I think it definitely hurts for sure.
It hurts your image, your public image, but does it hurt? Do people listen to you less?
Yes.
Like I don't think that's the case. People didn't stop listening to Drake. He is the butt of the joke of the Super Bowl. No one stopped listening to him. No one stopped listening to Jay-Z after Ether. No one stopped listening to,
But you're picking people so I think maybe people did stop listening to Drake. But if I have 10 million fans and I only have 9 million.5 fans, is that like something that's super noticeable?
More people stop listening to J. Cole not participating in the beef than people stop listening to
Drake. Yeah, but that was an all-time punk move. Like
that is not what he did. Stop saying that, dog. You always try to get his cap for this nigga.
I'm just saying, no, I'm not. I'm using it as an example of how the battle doesn't hurt you. Not doing the battle hurts you.
It can hurt you.
That shit definitely hurt J. Cole for me as a top 1% fan. That shit hurt. So
that's what I mean. Okay, so you proved my point. That's all. That's all I'm saying.
Nigga want to shoot himself. I can't respect niggas that kill themselves like that, dog. He killed his own career. How you work so hard for something and just throw it away? That don't make sense to me. That's not relatable.
Yeah, this is what we said earlier. Yeah. I agree.
The dumbass name to begin with.
As she gotta go. He gotta go. Wasn't he on that Dot album?
Yeah.
Everybody that was on that Dot album was trash.
Yeah, no, agreed. Lefty Gunplay.
Lefty,
Yeah,
and who else?
he
Who else
picked
is
the
on there?
wackest rappers from his city. He
Is
didn't want
that
to
are those on
shoot
his
any
label,
of the dope
or he's
rappers.
just putting his city on? Like, are those just dudes from his city or whatever?
That's the idea, I assume. Yeah, I assume it was.
I really wish he'd
putting
have
other
just put
West
like J
Coast.
Rock on the song, but you know,
Black Hippie is over with. But the thing is, yeah, I mean, that's the truth, man. That's the truth. I don't know. People don't want to accept it, but
and it's
all
cheap.
right, man.
Who else is on there? There was somebody else on there. I feel like. But go ahead, we got one more album to talk about, right?
Lefty Gunplay. That's it. Oh,
That was
you
it.
want to
Just
talk
them two?
about? Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Y'all want to talk about the ASAP Rock?
Yeah, I thought you wanted to talk about it.
All right,
Never
all
want to
right.
talk
We'll
about
get to it.
anything.
Last before we go. ASAP Rock. I don't know if anybody on here even listened to your boy, but he dropped the album as well, Black Hole Superette. And it's to me more of what he's been making recently. I think this is a solid album. I think he's creative. Always making songs about weird subjects, that I never would have assumed.
The snail.
Yeah,
the
exactly.
Snail song is funny.
Yeah, so
Snail Zero. He had a whole song about these snails. It's like a funny story, but like, what are we doing? So I do appreciate the change of pace. That's one of the things I do get into is my sometimes my Google will be like, all right, you've been playing a bunch of like, I just killed 95 Negroes in a row. Can we, and then so there needs to be a mix. And this is a good change of pace for me. So I'm not mad that you asked us to listen to this. I don't be really following A$AP Rock like that. But I did like a few songs on here a lot. Yeah. So, and then overall, in general, I like the album. I don't have nothing, bad to say about it. I like Red Phone. I like the one with Lupe on there was fun.
Yeah.
You got the one with Arm & Hammer on there was good. I like Checkers. So there was definitely some good songs on there. John Something.
I like John Something. There's a cool story. I mean, again, he always does, creative. He's different and creating in creative ways. So I think if you a fan of his style, then you like this album. And but I don't think he works for everybody. His style is he's super wordy. I mean, that's like the thing, right? Like he just uses a ton of words that sometimes it makes the song so dense that like sometimes it's not even clear exactly what he's talking about.
I'll be honest with y'all. Let me just say this something. I don't want to hear no more white rapper. I'm sorry. I'm done.
None.
Not at all.
No Eminem.
No matter what.
Did you like that last Eminem album? You
No,
were a big fan of that.
Like any. That's not true.
Yeah,
I was a big fan of the. Come on,
big
dog.
fan.
Never. That's crazy to put on. That's crazy to put
you had the blonde hair and everything. What are you talking about?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I remember that, man. I'm pretty sure I remember that. You was like 12 years old, but that's when Eminem first came out. You had the blonde hair. I remember.
Oh, I liked Eminem when I was a young, angsty teenager. You're right. But after that, I'm good, brother. I don't need any of that anymore.
All right. So, other white rappers. You don't like Run the Jewels?
I only ever listened to one album y'all told me to. It sounded good, but they got to do better. They got to send their best.
Nah, I actually like like I said, I appreciate especially this dude and there's other people too, but when he got to play a different role. He got to do different stuff and he got to be creative a different way. And so he does. Like, you got to be good. It's not about, yes, a lot of white rappers get corny. Like a Macklemore or somebody like that. Logic has struggles with not being corny, even though he's
not
white, I guess.
Black, man, come on.
I'm about to say, yeah, he's not white.
I was gonna say white people just don't make good music, but they do got some good white soul out there. So I'm not gonna say that. But their main genre, country, is ass. And you know what I just realized?
Oh yeah.
The country singers, they're not even good singers. They just talking in
No.
a good melody, and anyone could do it. I heard somebody singing country at a table with me the other day. I'm like, oh, he sounds good singing this, but anyone could sound good singing. Like it's nothing special to it.
Man,
Now they try to make that shit sound like they making country sound like trap music. They putting trap beats on all the country songs. So
They need to do something. I'm tired of hearing about their dog or their truck or their girl that left them.
hey, that's the genre. I don't know nothing about country, so I'm not
Beyonce
gonna
took
sit up
country
here and really
back,
talk
man.
about
You
it.
tripping? Beyonce took it back, man. Country's awesome now. You ain't watched the Netflix game, the Netflix Bowl? That was better than the Kendrick Lamar performance.
I saw Post
No, it
Malone
wasn't.
come out, and I kind of zoned out.
I hate
All
country
right.
music.
That's true. I forgot Post Malone was out. Yeah, Post Malone is whack. So,
Why is Beyonce hanging with these culture vultures? You know what I'm saying? Drill country
That's
will
a good
become a thing
question.
because they're gonna catch anything that was popping with black people music. They're gonna catch it just 5 years later, maybe 2 or 3 years later. Depends on what's
Nah,
going on with it.
country might be hard. I pull up on a
Yeah,
horse with
yeah.
my rifle. That's
You
hard.
mean
yeah.
Hatfields
With
and
the ox,
McCoys
yeah,
on the record? Yeah, like
I'm
for
on
real. Yeah.
that. They start doing that. I'm on that for sure.
I mean, they've always had like country that was more on that type of stuff. If you want to get into that, but
Yeah,
why?
but
I'm not a big fan. I mean, obviously, I don't know about no country, man. That's why I'm not gonna sit up here and just hate on rappers if they white. You gotta, but your stuff gotta be good, and it be different. You ain't gotta do the same thing. Don't try to be gangster with it. You know what I'm saying? I like Action Bronson be talking about cooking, and doing weird
yeah,
stuff, acting like an old school action hero. I'm like, that's cool. You different. You know what I'm saying? Don't try to do the same shit because like it don't come off the same.
it doesn't.
I think
And
there's a bunch
so
of dope white rappers. I mean, like I said, Evidence is I'm a
Evidence
big
don't
fan
try
of
to do the same
Evidence.
stuff. Alchemist, when he raps, he's
Yeah.
a competent rapper. He's not rapping about the same type of things. So I appreciate. I can't say all white rappers got to stop, but I mean, they're probably not at the top of the genre. I'm trying to think of who's the top white rapper. Probably LP, I guess.
LP, Evidence, probably two of my favorites. I mean, there's a lot of. I'm trying to think of other dope ones.
They have other dope ones, but
I mean,
right now, top. I don't know.
Listen,
Exactly.
B-Dog was, I mean, that's good enough, man. We ain't got to go through no list of this. This ain't time for no listicle.
Yeah.
Of course, Eminem is the greatest rapper of all time. You know what I mean? So.
Oh, yeah. Put that as the thumbnail. The title. Yeah, Drew is nice.
Drew is super dope.
Drew had a great album last year.
So, yeah, I think there's plenty. Like, that's the thing.
Yeah, you can't just hate on them just because they white, man. They got
there's a lot of.
Man. You like that Drew album, too. Did you? I don't know if you did or not.
I gotta look it up to see what
the
it
movie
like.
one. Yeah,
that was a really good album, man.
Yeah, it was a good album, great album. So, I think, I disagree. I disagree with B-Dog. And then, like I said, A$AP Rock has his own lane. Like it's his own thing. I think the production is good on this album. Going back to how we started this white rapper conversation, the production is good, and I think he's really dope at what he does, which is rhyme a bunch of these big words, do this super weird stories, like I said, for what he does.
There's some songs on here.
Yeah, and the songs sound good to me. I don't dislike the way, I like the whole album pretty much. It was a good listen straight through. But I think he's definitely, his style is different than what most people are used to. So if you don't like him, you don't like him, and if you do, then I think you'll just love it. So it's just different.
Yeah, I don't hear no buzz. I don't see this on the websites. I don't see nothing for this. So shout out to you for even pulling this up and telling us to listen to it. But I don't understand how some corners of the culture would just be completely ignored. Like, it's interesting.
Yeah, I mean, I think he's heavy into I don't know, we call it nerd rap, but
I mean, the
Lupe is
Odyssey didn't get no love either, so
no, yeah.
it's not
Odyssey
just
don't
white
get
or
talked
black.
about at all. I feel like
Nah,
ASAP Rock get more love than Odyssey.
probably.
Yeah.
Odyssey been doing it for a minute and got a nice catalog.
And should get more hype. Like I said,
he should have a few more fans. But that's how I feel about Sky Zoo, which always kills me. Is like I said, to me, should have more fans.
That's what happens in New York. You
that's true. Oh yeah, he's not over Rock Marcy, but he could be over the rest of them.
He over everybody.
Nobody's over Rock Marcy. No, you crazy boy. Come on, man.
Listen.
To
me the way you talk like that. That's another person who's just style. I just don't like Rock Marcy. I just don't like his style.
That dude's style is the greatest style, man. Yo, Marcy is that dude, man. I don't understand. I could hate on that dude.
Easy.
I saw a video from earlier today that I hadn't seen. Vintage limo. Rock Marcy. Shit is nice, man. Yo, Rock Marcy is that dude, man. Yo, he can't be stopped. He got one of the best songs this year with that Armani section with Preem. Come on, man. You gotta stop hating on Rock Marcy, man.
All right. Well, yeah, y'all gotta let us know in the comments. So you got Sky Zoo and Rock Marcy. But we gotta get out of here, man. It's late. We appreciate everybody in the chat for rocking with us. We appreciate y'all, man. And we can't wait to talk about some of these albums coming out this week, especially that Lil Wayne. So we'll catch y'all next time. Peace.